Hey, what's up, everyone? Back for this Wednesday slate. We have 10 games tonight, so hopefully you guys all had a good night last night. Wasn't a very good night personally. Not a lot of things went right. Harden was bad, and then Russell was bad. Some blowouts at the end, but so a little bit of a streak came to an end yesterday, but can start a new one tonight. Looking forward to that. We got an awesome slate, so I'm excited. So let's break it down. You can drop a like and subscribe down below. Let's try to get 150 likes on the video. We're closing in on 9,000 subscribers, so hopefully we can get that today. Appreciate everybody that subscribed and watching the videos. And let's get right into it at point guard here. It took a little bit of time to break down the slate, just personally looking at the prices. There's not a ton to jump off the page right now, especially for value on Draftkings at least. So hopefully we get some more value throughout the day. Right now at point guard, I'm not really on Harden at 12-4. Disappointing, only put up 61 fantasy points. Once again, the shots were there at 37, but just got outplayed by Ja Morant. I like Luka a little bit at 12-1 if Kristaps misses. I think LeBron's in play if AD misses at 10-4. Zach LaVine is a great matchup, but 9,300 for him is just hard to stomach. He basically needs to go off in terms of just shooting for him to pay off the salary. Even like a 52, 55 point game isn't gonna kill you if you don't have him. That's basically what he needs to hit 6x. I think there's better plays. I'm not really on him. I'm looking at De'Aaron Fox here, 8,000. He's been crushing it lately. The Kings have played a very tight rotation, which you like to see. They started Giles. He's probably going to start again, but he's only played like 13 minutes. And then Dedmon played like 3 or 4 minutes, and then James played like a couple minutes. So they're really, and Bogdanovic is doubtful again, so there's going to be a lot of opportunity for Fox here against Dallas. It's at home, where he's played very well this year, and as of late especially, he has monster upside, especially with Kyrie Irving being right here, 7,900. Irving played really well last night. It is a back-to-back for him after missing so much time. This is his third game in 4 nights. So far, he hasn't had a bad game shooting, but I don't know if that can continue. I think Fox will probably be a little bit lower owned, has a similar ceiling to Irving. And then for cheap plays, McCollum looks okay at 68. You got to look at the status of Jamal Murray. This could be where we get some of the value if Murray's out, play Monty Morris. I love Brogdon at 67. And I think one of these guys are going to go off, Rose, Rozier, or Paul. They're all in good price points. I probably would rank it like Paul, Rose, Rozier, just based on the matchup. And then Fultz looks fine here, 56. I don't mind him at all just because Augustine is doubtful, so we're going to see a lot of minutes for Fultz here. 30-plus easily. Could get up to like 32, 33 without Augustine tonight. And has been playing a lot better, facilitating, rebounding. It's a tougher matchup against Lakers, but if Davis misses, then the game should be a lot closer. And that's pretty much it here. There's not a ton that I like cheap as of now. But like I said, I'm pretty high on De'Aaron Fox. Just 8,000. Don't think it's going to be super high owned, especially with the red 1 right next to his name. But played well in a tough matchup against Orlando. He played well it's a fast-paced matchup against the Milwaukee, but they played good defense with Bledsoe. So yeah, it was close to a triple-double in both of them. Hopefully this could be a night where he actually gets that triple-double. At shooting guard, Beal would be a really good play if we knew how many minutes he's going to play. Now that they're pretty much healthy, I don't know if they really need to play Beal that many minutes, especially since this season is they're not going to go anywhere this year. So I don't think he's going to go back to a full workload right away. Maybe it'll be a couple games at least, but you could take a shot on him in tournaments. I love Brogdon at 67, just really cheap price point. Came right back from an injury and played 34 minutes after missing about 2 weeks. Got right back to being a productive player with 46.3 fantasy points. Flirted with a triple-double. It's a great matchup against Minnesota, a pace-up matchup. Terrible defensive team, especially individual matchup against Jeff Teague and Shabazz Napier. Malcolm Brogdon should be able to dominate here and should be able to pay off a salary. He was well over 7K in the 8Ks a couple games before he got hurt, so we're getting a great bargain on him at 67, especially since he's not on any limit or anything coming back from his injuries. Small forward, I'm looking. See, Tatum is probable. If he was out, that would open up some. Now that the Celtics are all healthy, it's tough to pick and choose. They have 5 guys really that can go off. When the prices are cheap enough, like on some of these guys, you could take a chance. But None of them feel safe, especially since they kind of all take away from each other. If Tice is out, Cantor would be a good play. That's about all I can say from a DraftKings perspective. FanDuel, Kemba's really cheap on FanDuel, so you could look at there. Here in this 5,800 range, I like Covington. If Cat misses again, he's been just solid, making value, exceeding value. I like Aaron Gordon at 58, playing. Hopefully, he starts at the 4 tonight, but he's been playing pretty well as of late, getting double doubles or getting close to double doubles, and that's because even though they do start Cam Birch, or Gordon still sees some time at the 4. In some of these games, he has started at the 4, and they've started Wes Iwundu, so hopefully this could be a spot where Iwundu starts, so Gordon could get a lot more rebounding opportunities. And then you could look at, like, Bertans a little bit. Could be a tournament flyer off the bench at 55. 49 for Barnes is okay. He's not been that productive. Lamb is pretty cheap, 46. His minutes have been down, but he could obviously just play a lot of minutes if he's playing well. So, yeah, that's kind of what I'm liking for small forward. I think out of all of these guys, probably the main one that sticks out is Buddy Hield. Didn't touch on him, but 6,500 for Hield. Like the price point. I like that Bogdanovic is doubtful, so his minutes are secure. He did not close the game against Phoenix, which was surprising, but he's closed every other game. 36 to 38 minutes you should expect out of him. It's a decent matchup. Like at home, I like playing some of these Kings players at home, especially a guy like Buddy Hield. It's a good matchup. Hopefully he'll stay close. And that's just at a good price point on DraftKings with how tight of a rotation the Kings have played. Power forward, I'm looking if Sabonis misses, that could open up some. All same thing with Kristaps. I like Lauri Markkanen at 64. He's priced where he should be, but it's a great matchup against Washington. He put up a 50 spot against them last time out. He's still at a good price point without Wendell Carter. He should get more opportunities. The minutes have just not been there for him, but that's just a combination of not playing well and some blowouts. And then for value here, I'm looking at like a really cheap value could be 3,900 for Cody Zeller. Probably one of the better value plays that we have right now. He drew the start against Portland. Didn't play that well. But also, thing to note was Bismack Biyombo didn't even play in that game, and I don't think he was on a minutes limit. So they might just be done with him. They've been on a little bit of a losing streak, I believe. So they might just shake it up and put Zeller back in their starting lineup. I think he's a much better offensive player than Biyombo. And they're going to need some size to defend Jokic. So 39 for him if he sees 25 to 30 minutes would be a great value. At center, I'm looking at, I think Drummond is fine here. Got benched, only 22 minutes. Still at a really cheap price point. Could dominate this matchup, assuming could dominate Cantor, could dominate Tice. It's a great matchup for him. So especially if he's angry about getting benched, could go there. Don't mind Jokic at 10-1 either. Vucevic looks fine at 85. It's a tough matchup though. Whiteside as well. He's had a bad game, only 24 minutes. He also didn't close. His minutes have been down the last 2 games. But he's also, when he's playing well, he's going to get the minutes. If he's not playing well and they go small, then he's not going to see a ton of minutes. But I think he's still worth a flyer at this price point. Still too cheap. Siakam played about 30 minutes. Here, minutes should only go up from now on. He's really cheap at 78. And then I like Al Horford a lot at 67. Just a great matchup against Brooklyn. They're at home. The Sixers seem to only play good basketball at home. So I do want to get at least 1 or 2 Sixers in here. Because at home, they play great. They score a ton of points. On the road, they're invisible. Great matchup at home against a Brooklyn team on a back-to-back. Horford should be able to have his way in the paint here. And hasn't had a double-double yet without Embiid, which is surprising. But that's because Simmons gets a lot of the rebounds as well. But it should be a pretty up-and-down matchup here against Brooklyn. And 67 for Horford. Still at a good bargain, knowing that he can put up 45-plus fantasy points. And then at the guard position, I think Markelle Fultz looks pretty good here at just 5,600. Mainly because Augustine is doubtful, so if he's out, then Fultz should see 30-plus minutes easily. It's not an easy matchup, but I think he can still pay off the salary just with the minutes that he's going to play, expecting around 30-plus fantasy points out of him. Has the ability to get it up to like close to 40 in the 40s. But at 56, not a ton of risk, especially with the lack of value that we have right now. Feel pretty confident that he can get at least 5x and upside to get you 6.5x. So that's what I'm liking for DraftKings. For Fanduel, at point guard, I'm looking at Ben Simmons, Damian Lillard, De'Aaron Fox, a little bit of Irving, Brogdon. Kemba's really cheap on Fanduel at 67. And then for value here, Fanduel's priced Satoransky down to 46. That's a great value play. They've also priced Dragic down, and they priced Kendrick Nunn down. Both are in play, especially with Winslow out in this one. At shooting guard, well, the guy that I'm plugging at point guard is going to be probably Brogdon at 68, just a really cheap price point on both sides. At shooting guard, you could definitely play Harden again, but I like Zach LaVine $1,000 cheaper than he is on DraftKings. You could look at Bradley Beal as well. 77 is really cheap. I love Buddy Hield at 68. Fournier at 6,000 never gets a lot of ownership, and Josh Richardson 57, as well as another top play. But Buddy Hield looks great. 5,800 for Hield at home. Safe matchup, or safe in terms of just minutes, hopefully, without Bogdanovich, and has a high ceiling in the 40s. Small forward, it's LeBron, Siakam. Will Barton will be really interesting if they're missing a couple bodies. Then feel really good about him being able to crush value at this price point. Tobias has been disappointing. He hasn't had a decent game yet without Embiid. He's been okay. I mean, he's been like average, but he hasn't had like a great game. Hopefully, he can have just a big time scoring game once. One of these games recently. I think it could happen tonight. He's played well at home, not really well on the road. This year, he's at a good price point on both sides, especially on FanDuel at 66, given this not really strong position at small forward. And then I think Jaylen Brown is cheap enough where you could play him at 61. Same thing with Gallinari at 63. But I like Tobias 66. Power forward, at the top, it's a bonus if he plays. In the mid-range, it's Horford at 67. It's a little bit of Covington. Don't mind Washington, 59. Gordon at 56 looks fine on FanDuel, as does B. Jelly at 53. He's been going off. He should still see a lot of minutes, especially even though Bagley's back. They should close with B. Jelly and Bagley. They're not going to close with Dedmon or Giles. And then Markkanen looks great, 5,100. He's really cheap on FanDuel. Want to take advantage of that price. And then as center, even if Cat plays, I'm not interested. He should be on a limit. Drummond is all right here on FanDuel at 10-2. I love Jokic, 9,700 for him, under 10K against Charlotte, should crush. And then I'm looking at Capella, 78, Adams, 68, and then if Tice misses and Cantor at 55, would be a pretty good play, as would, that's kind of it. And then if you want to punt, could be for like Jordan or Zeller, but none of those. On FanDuel, I kind of just want to get a center that I know is going to get a lot of minutes here. Those two could easily lose minutes. But Jokic looks great, 9,700. I believe he's cheaper, like $400 cheaper than he is on DraftKings. So yeah, that's the breakdown for this Wednesday 10-game slate. A lot to like, a lot to look at. Hopefully we'll get some more value throughout the day. But yeah, that's what I'm liking for now. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it, and good luck tonight.